and welcome again to Mission Alive. Today I would like to tell you about a trip I made to Woodlark Island. Woodlark Island is quite a large coral island which has been pushed up out of the sea, and it is 2 days by boat northeast of the mainland. The first ever mission in PNG was started there by the Marist missionaries in 1848. However, these missionaries had to leave. In 1852, the Pime missionaries arrived there. One of the missionaries was Father John Musakoni. He became very ill, and when a sailing ship called in, he left for Sydney for medical attention. In his absence, the missionaries were forced to leave because of the aggression of the people at that time. In the meantime, Father John Musakoni returned, unaware of the departure of his brothers, because they were unable to communicate quickly in those days. Father John Musakoni arrived on a sailing ship which approached between the beach, a rocky headland, and a small island, not knowing that the passage was a submerged reef. The ship ran aground, and before they could refloat it, men paddled out from the beach and murdered everyone on board, including Father John. Father John Musakoni has now been beatified by the Pope. The next missionaries to go there many years later were the missionaries of the Sacred Heart. It is an outstation of the Trobriand Island mission, and a priest makes visits there. The people are mostly Fredeninal. The majority of them belong to the United Church. There is a small Catholic community at the government station at Guasopa, towards the south of the island, near where Blessed John Musakoni was murdered, and another mission further north at Kulamatau. On this visit I sailed from the Trobriand Islands. We sailed around the Trobes on the Morning Star, and the first day anchored at an island just south of the main island. Early the next morning we set out across the open sea towards Woodlark Island. It was a very rough trip, and several of us were seasick. In the afternoon we anchored at Ewa Island. I glanced out the porthole to see a cliff rising sharply from the beach, and a single path leading up it at about an angle of 80 degrees. We went ashore and scrambled up the path to the top. There we found villages, gardens, and a school. The people were very welcoming, but whichever way we looked, we could only see sea. No land was anywhere in sight. Their pigs are kept on the beach so they cannot destroy people's gardens, as the path is too steep for them to climb. About 800 people live on the island. We stayed on the boat overnight and early next morning headed east once more for Woodlark, which we reached late in the afternoon after a very rough trip. It was good to be off the rocking boat. A very small Catholic community lived near the beach, and we stayed there for the night. The following day we drove in a rickety old ute to the school, which is inland. Though the island is pushed up coral, it is covered in trees. Quite a few trees are black ebony, which is very good for carvings. The school, which is run by the Catholic Agency, was built by a timber company on the island, but the only Catholic students in the school were the teachers' children. I remember returning that night. The ute had no headlights. Someone stood at the back of the truck and directed a torch beam on the road. It was a little hair-raising, but we got back safely. The people on the island are now very friendly. The land where the mission stands was given by a United Church family. One of their sons had gone to the Sacred Heart High School at Hakita, where he became head boy in Year 12. He then did his teacher training and returned to the school to teach. Now he is the head of the education department in the province. Today, a catechist from the Trobriand Islands with his wife and children serve the church there. There are just a few Catholics scattered around the area, mainly as a result of Woodlark people marrying people from other islands. The island has its own language, which is related to both the Trojan Island language and the Midsummer Island language. The next day we returned to the Morning Star and sailed south for over 4 hours to visit Guasilpa, where there are a few Catholics. It is the place where the early Maoists and later the Pime missionaries lived. Of course, there is no sign of their presence there today. We went by dinghy across to the small island where Blessed John Masakuni was martyred. I will never forget the beach there on the mainland. It is a very long curve with very, very white sand lapped by aqua blue water. One cannot walk along it in the middle of the day without sunglasses. It is blinding. We left Woodlark to face the sea again and return home. Goodbye till next time.